Hi everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got another card project featuring products from the Gina Designs A Big Hello card kit. I've been having a lot of fun with some simple techniques using these stamps and dies, and I want to share this with you in today's card project. So let's take a look at the supplies. Here's one of the big 6x8 stamp sets that come in the A Big Hello kit, and this one is all about florals and sentiments. So I'm going to use those and the coordinating dies that come in the kit. I've also got a few inks from Gina, some Bubblegum Pink, a little bit of Passionate Pink, some Jellybean Green, and some Grass Green, and that I will be stamping with today. I've got some life-changing blender brushes from Picket Fence Studios, and I'm going to be using the stencil that comes in the kit, and I'll also link to another video where I just used this stencil as well. My cardstock is Bubblegum Pink, and I wanted that to match the Bubblegum Pink ink, and then some Neenah Solar White cardstock, and a little bit of purple tape. The first thing I'm going to do is tape my cardstock right onto the stencil to hold it in place for adding the ink. Once that's secured, I'll flip it over, and I've got one of my life-changing blender brushes and this Bubblegum Pink ink. It's hard to say that, Bubblegum Pink ink. But I love this effect. What this effect is, it's almost like you're creating a watermark on your cardstock. Gina's inks and papers are designed to work together beautifully. They coordinate, they match. It's really something to see if you like your stuff to be matchy-matchy. So what I wanted to do was apply the ink in a diagonal using the heart stencil. And I'm going a little heavy in the center because I'm not too worried about how it's going to look, because the way Gina's inks work, when they dry back, they lighten and they become very close to the color of the cardstock itself. So I wanted to do this to create sort of a blended watermarky look. So here I'm just taking whatever ink is left on the brush and gently applying it with less pressure so that it will fade out. And when I peel back to reveal, you can see that fade look. And I thought, you know what? That is good to go. Now when this dries, it will look very different. I'm going to show you what I already did about an hour before. I cut a panel, and look at the difference in how it dries back. It just gets so soft and muted, and I love that tone-on-tone look. So that's going to go onto my card project. Next, it's time to stamp. I've got a couple of the blooms in my Misty, and I love my stamp positioner for stuff like this because when you need to keep stamping in the same place, it's genius for that. I'm going to ink them up with the Bubblegum Pink ink. Now I'm starting with the lighter ink. I'm going to stamp this down, and I keep a Swiffer cloth not only for cleanup but also just so that my hand can easily slide over the Misty door when I'm applying pressure. I'm going to ink it up a second time and hit that again. And that's going to give me a perfect impression of these flowers in the Bubblegum Pink. Next, I'm going to grab the darker ink. This is the Passionate Pink. And here's where I'm going to do Gina's technique of thumping, but I am going to use a tiny little blender brush. You know, this multi-pack of life-changing blender brushes comes with these little tiny brushes, and you may think, what do I do with those tiny ones? Well, this is one thing that you can do to control where you add some darker ink to your stamped images. And here's what's great. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just sort of thump it around, press down, and when you bring that Misty door up, you can see the result. So what it's doing is it's adding a second tone to your stamped images, and it's really easy to do this in sort of a messy, kind of haphazard way, and you just keep thumping and stamping until you get the look that you like. I love this technique, and I love having another purpose for these teeny tiny little blender brushes. Now I'm going to repeat the process with the greenery. I've already put them on the Misty door. I'm going to ink them up with Jellybean Green, which is the lighter of my two inks. Stamp that twice to get a really great impression. Again, stamp positioner, fantastic for this. And now I'll get the darker ink. This is the Grass Green. I'm going to take another one of my tiny little brushes that comes in the Picket Fence Studio set and start thumping on some darker green just on the base of the leaves. Really simple again, and stamp that down. It'll stamp perfectly in place as long as your cardstock hasn't moved, and repeat until you get the desired look. And once I've stamped those out, you can see the variation in tone, and now we're ready to die cut. I'll use the coordinating dies, get them all taped into place, and run them through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine. Beautiful. Okay, now let's do a sentiment. I'm taking just one of the small sub-sentiments because I thought this would make a beautiful sentiment. I'm going to stamp this on some Onyx Black cardstock from Gina K Designs, and I'm powdering it up so that when I take this sticky Versamark, my powder is only going to stick to where I stamp. So I'll add a nice bit of even pressure to this, and then I will take some of Gina K Designs embossing powder in the fine detail white, sprinkle that onto the piece, let that sit for just a second, and tap off the excess. And I'll hit it one more time just to make sure it has a perfect coating of powder, and again tap. And if you have any errant pieces of powder, you can take a dry brush, I keep one just for this purpose, and just sort of brush away. On dark cardstock it tends to show up more, so I'm brushing, and then I'll get my heat tool nice and hot and quickly melt the powder. Looks great. I'll use one of my Simon Says stamp sentiment labels. This is one of my favorite die sets of all time, to cut out a perfectly trimmed strip, and then also to use the little banner notches as well. You tape everything down into place, run that through the die cut machine, and I'll repeat on the other side as well for a perfectly notched banner sentiment. I've got some foam tape here so I can pop up this pretty heart panel right onto my white card base, which I already went ahead and folded off camera. And then I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue. This is the Connect glue. I love this stuff because it has a little bit of wiggle room and playtime. And I'm going to wiggle my greenery into place and then repeat for the bigger stem. I wanted them to overlap so they sort of feel like they're coming out of the same place. I'll put a brick on that just to let that really adhere. And then I put some foam squares on the back of the blooms because I thought it would look nice to have just a little dimension. Pop that little guy up at the top of that stem, and then repeat with the smaller bloom on the smaller stem. And then I'll use the same foam squares to pop up my little notched sentiment banner and get that lined up perfectly. To finish off this card, I'm going to use some enamel dots from Waffle Flower, and these have sort of a bit of shimmer inside of them with a white background. I think they're really pretty, and I just thought 3 little groupings were a nice way to finish off this card project. I encourage you to try your hand at this using a stencil and the tone-on-tone ink blending. It's a really fun way to create a background, and then try that thumping technique, especially if you have those little tiny blender brushes. It's easy to do, and I think the results are really fun. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.